their limitations.
It's good to be with everybody. The Kennedys and the Goldbergs and everyone who's joining now. Are we about ready, Cantor? Yes?
Yes, absolutely.
So, Chag Sameach, we're at the tail end of Passover at this very moment, as we as a Reformed community and Jews in Israel mark on this night the end of Passover, as the Torah tells us, a 7-day holiday. And of every Passover that we've marked, it's never quite clear whether we'll make it through or not. It's always a bit of a question mark. And this year it was a major question mark. But here you are. We found a way, and we've gotten to the end of Passover. I will say just a word as we're waiting for people to trickle in. Passover really is, like so much of Jewish life, a holiday of contrasts. If you think about so many of the themes of Passover, we have both the sweet and the bitter. If you think about the Seder plate, right? The sweetness of, say, the charoset, the bitterness of the maror. We have past as we consider our story and our exodus from the land of Egypt, but we also have future, a great sense of hope and possibility. It's a story of the young. We meet Moses as a baby, and it's the story of the older and the wise as we meet some of the iconic teachers who are part of our Haggadah and our Seder. And tonight too is meant to be a service somewhat in contrast, that we celebrate the festival, we celebrate these closing moments of our festival, but we also traditionally in this service feel a heaviness and a sadness as we mark Yizkor, a time of remembrance, a time to think deeply about and pray together on behalf of those no longer with us. And really all of us, I imagine at this moment, can think about those we've loved and we've lost, and we remember as we mark Yizkor at the end of this service. So we are glad that you're here. Thank God we can be together, even if virtually. We need community more than ever, and we need the words of our people more than ever to ground us, to help us, to guide us. And that's what we'll do now. You should see the prayer book nice and clear on your screen. Thank you to our inimitable tech team working tirelessly to make sure everything looks and sounds just right. And we'll begin with a classic as we sing Dayenu.
Ilu hotzianu mi Mitzrayim, hotzianu mi Mitzrayim, Dayenu, 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 Ilu natan lanu et Torah, natan lanu et Torah, Dayenu, 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 Ilu natan lanu et Shabbat, natan lanu et Shabbat, Dayenu. Last one of the year. Dayenu, 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 Dayenu.
We'll join in the blessing over our festival lights, our festival Kiddush. We savor these closing hours of light as we come to the end of Passover, and with our Kiddush, savor the sweetness and all that Passover brings into our lives. You should see the words on the screen in front of you, and of course, we invite you to join in at home.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav yitzivanu lehadlik ner shel yom tov. We'll continue with the Kiddush, a short Kiddush. We raise our glasses together. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri agafen. Chaim.
Chaim. On page 388, we remember on this day our crossing of the sea so long ago when Miriam, Moses, and all the Israelites sang this song to God. Adonai is my strength and song, who has become my deliverance. This is my God, whom I will enshrine. So too do we sing out in praise on this day of our redemption. And we'll join together in Chatzi Kaddish on page 392.
Yitkata shvera Bialma dibera firote Yamikapote Bekaekon Yomekon Ukaye Kol Beit Israel Bakala Ubisman Karim Emru Amen. Yesh me Rabba me Barak, Be'alam lo be'alaya. Yitbarach, Yishtabach, Yitbarach, Romami nase. Yitador, Yitalev, Shemei de Kuresha, Erikum. Leila mi koberkata beshirata. Tush bekata benekemata. Damiran bialma veimaru. Amen. Baruchu et Adonai Amevorach. Baruch Adonai Amevorach leolam vaed.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim b'chokma poteach she'arim uvitvuna mishane itim umachalif et hazmadim umisader et hakochavim b'mishmeroteim barakia kirtzono. Praised are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tsevaot is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Praise to you, Adonai, who brings on evening. Baruch atah Adonai Hama'ariv Aravim. Ahavat olam beit Israel amcha ahavta. Torah u'mitzvot chukim u'mishpatim otanu limadeta. Everlasting love you offered your people Israel by teaching us Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts. Therefore, Adonai our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and your commandments. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night we will reflect on them, for they are our life, and doing them lengthens our days. Never remove your love from us. Praise to Adonai, who loves your people Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam ואתה את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך וכל נפשך וכל מאודיך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ושוכבך וקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו עשיתם את כל מצוותיי הייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Freedom Micha Mocha becomes especially poignant during Passover when we're meant to be especially mindful of our freedom and the many freedoms that we enjoy as Jews, as Americans, and to be especially sensitive to the fact that there are those in this world who are not yet fully free, and that perhaps between this Passover now ending and next Passover a year away, we might work together for greater freedom across all lines as we sing together.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, נוע תהילות עושי פלא, נורא תהילות עושי פלא. מלכות קרא ובניך בוקי הים לפני משה ומרים צליונו ויאמרו אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד
Like many of you, perhaps I've been thinking a lot about the Hashkivenu prayer over these last few weeks. It's a prayer that acknowledges that the dark, the night, can be a very scary time, a time of unknown, a time of uncertainty, a lack of clarity, and maybe we can relate to the darkness, especially now. Darkness, of course, also being one of the plagues from the Passover story. To feel like we don't know where we are, we don't have our bearings, there are more questions than answers, a time when we all feel incredibly off balance and unsettled. We can relate to these words perhaps in a new way, therefore. And yet Hashkivenu, as I've also noted recently, is fundamentally a prayer of hope. It assumes that tomorrow will come and that the sun will rise. And the Passover story at its core is also a story of hope. It takes us from a place of great darkness and fear and pain to a place of new beginnings and new possibility. God willing, tomorrow will be a new day, and the day after, and the day after, and we move as a community, as a world, to a place of greater health and greater wholeness. I invite you to join me in these words as we say, grant, O God, that we lie down in peace and raise us up, O our guardian, to life renewed. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Guide us with your good counsel. For your name's sake, be our help. Shield and shelter us beneath the shadow of your wings. Defend us against enemies, illness, war, famine, and sorrow. Distance us from wrongdoing. For you, God, watch over us and deliver us. For you, God, are gracious and merciful. Guard our going and coming to life and to peace evermore. Blessed are you, Adonai, guardian of Israel, whose shelter of peace is spread over us, over all your people, Israel, and over Jerusalem. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom aleinu, ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim. We continue with our most central collection of prayers, our tefillah.
Adonai sefatai titapu pia kiteilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Eloi Avotenu v'Imoteinu, Eloi Abraham, Eloi Yitzchak, Eloi Yaakov, Eloi Sarah, Eloi Rivka, Eloi Rachel, Eloi Leah. Ha'el HaGadol HaGibor HaNorah, El Elyon, Omer Chasadim Tovim, Begonei Yaakov, Ezoker Chasdei Avot V'Imahot, U'Miri Gula Libnei Bneihem, Leman Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer Moshiach U'Magin, Baruch atah Adonai, Magin Avraham Bezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor Leolam Adonai, Mechayach Kol Atarav Leoshia, Morit Hatah, Mechalkel Chaim Bechesed, Mechayeh Kol B'Rachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim B'Rofei Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Emunato, B'Shenei Achar, Mikamo Kabal Geburot, Umido Melech, Melech Meni Tumekayeh, Umatzmiach Yeshua, Ne'emanat halachayot hakol. Baruch atah Adonai, mechayeh hakol.
Your might, O God, renews the earth with dewdrops of light and blessing. Let the earth be illumined and blessed with dewdrops of joy and delight. Let the earth rejoice and sing out with dewdrops of life and well-being. Let the earth be revived and improved with dewdrops of redemption. Let the earth be redeemed. Livracha velo liklala, l'chaim velo lemavet, sovea velo lirazon. For blessing and not for curse, for life and not death, for abundance, not want. You are holy, your name is holy, and those who are holy praise you every day. Blessed are you, Adonai, the holy God. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el ha'kadosh. Continuing on page 480. Eloheinu, ve'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu yalev yavo. Yizacher zichronenu v'zichron kol amcha beit Yisrael lefanecha. L'tova ulechen ulechesed ulerachamim ulechayim uleshalom. V'yom chag hamatzot hazeh. Our God and God of our ancestors, be mindful of your people, Israel, and recall our merit for good and grace, and in loving kindness and compassion for life and peace on this festival of Pesach. Zochrenu Adonai Eloheinu bo l'tova, amen. Ufagdenu vo livracha, amen. V'hoshienu vo l'chaim, amen. This day remember us for well-being. This day bless us with your nearness. Amen. This day help us to a fuller life. Amen. No service would be complete without a prayer for peace. And here we acknowledge the brokenness, the pain in our world, that there is still, even amid this pandemic that we're experiencing, such enmity and hate and hurt. Our prayer for peace urges a greater sense of wholeness, that we might draw together as a human family and turn to a place of kindness and compassion, a place of greater patience and empathy. As we sing, in the name of Shalom, in the name of peace, Shalom Rav.
Tasim leolam, Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim leolam. Ki oto malakaron lekol hashalom. Ki oto malakaron lekol hashalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim leolam. B'tov b'necha levarech et Amcha Yisrael, b'chol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim leolam. Tasim leolam. Tasim leolam.
Misha Barak presents us with the opportunity to pray on behalf of those in our immediate and extended community who are sick, suffering in some way, those who are in pain. And of course, we arrive at this service as the world outside is reeling due to illness and great suffering. We pray on this Passover in the name of health and healing. We pray for strength for ourselves, for the heroic efforts taken on by medical professionals and first responders, that they should stay healthy and strong as we need them. Perhaps there's a name you hold in your heart at this very moment, someone that you're praying for. I'd also invite you to place that name in the chat if you'd like to do that, as we sing together Misha Barak in the name of healing.
Misha Barak avotenu, Bepor Abraham imotenu. May the source of strength, you bless the ones before us. Help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Misheberach imotenu, Bekor abrachotenu. Bless those in need. renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
Pause at this precious moment in our service for the sake of our own very personal prayers and reflections.
Let your living live on you lead us on, beg your living live on Adonai Suri, Adonai Suri, Adonai Suri Vepoali, Adonai Suri, Adonai Suri, Adonai Suri Vepoali. Yuli razzoni mrepi, Legioni bile panecha. Yuli razzoni mrepi, Legioni bile panecha. Adonai Suri, Adonai Suri, Adonai Suri Begoali. Adonai Suri, Adonai Suri, Adonai Suri Bekoali.
The Hallel section of our festival service consists of a series of psalms, with the idea being that sometimes it's hard for us to express and articulate joy on our own. It's hard for us sometimes to find joy. And perhaps for many of us, this is such a time when there's anxiety and uncertainty, and maybe we're feeling restless, and maybe we're feeling very unsure, even scared. Hallel gives us the language that perhaps we need to articulate a sense of joy, a sense of wonder, that there is still meant to be joy in our lives, that we have to go to a place of joy, which sometimes is hard to do. So these words are given to us to speak out loud and to put joy in our heart, to articulate joy in a way that's perhaps going to move you, and to remember that joy is so much a part of the Jewish experience. And because reciting Hallel is considered a mitzvah, there's a blessing. There's always a blessing. So I invite you to join me as we say, Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu likro et hallel. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to sing hymns of praise. And with that, we will join in a psalm, Psalm 114.
בצאת ישראל ממצרים, בית יעקב לעם לועז. בצאת ישראל ממצרים, בית יעקב לעם לועז. הייתה יהודה לקודשו ישראל, ממשלותיו. הים רב וינוס הירדן ישראל ממצרים, בית יעקב מעם לא אעז. בצאת ישראל ממצרים, בית יעקב מעם לא אעז. הערים נקטו כלים גבעות כבני צאן. מה לך הים כי תנוס, הידית תיסוג לאחור. בצאת ישראל ממצרים, בית יעקב מעם לא אעז. בצאת ישראל ממצרים, בית יעקב מעם לא אעז.
Continuing with our Psalms, handed down to us through our tradition. When Israel went forth from Egypt, the house of Jacob from a people of strange speech. Judah became God's Holy One, Israel God's dominion. The sea saw them and fled. Jordan ran backwards, mountains skipped like rams. Hills like sheep. What alarmed you, O sea, that you fled, Jordan, that you ran backward, mountains, that you skipped like rams, hills like sheep. Tremble, O earth, at the presence of Adonai, at the presence of the God of Jacob, who turned the rock into a pool of water, the flinty rock into a fountain. And we move forward with our Psalms. Psalm number 116. Ma'ashiv l'Adonai, kol hagmulachai alai, kos yeshuot esa, v'shem Adonai ekra, nidare l'Adonai shalem, negda na lechol amo, yakar bein Adonai, hamavet lechasdav. How can I repay Adonai for all God's bounties to me? I raise up the cup of deliverance and invoke the name of Adonai. I will pay my vows to Adonai in the presence of all God's people. The death of God's faithful ones is grievous in Adonai's sight. Adonai, I am your servant, the son of your maidservant. You have undone the cords that bound me. I will sacrifice a thanks offering to you and invoke the name of Adonai. I will pay my vows to Adonai in the presence of all God's people, in the courts of the house of Adonai, in the midst of Jerusalem. Hallelujah. We move forward with our service now as we join together in Aleinu.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליעשה בראשית, שלא עשנו גויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקינו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. אנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים, לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא, ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו
We will continue with Yizkor, a section of our service that we turn to during each of our festivals, as well as Yom Kippur, a time when we remember very specifically those we've said goodbye to over the years. I noted at the start of our service that Passover is both very much about the past, but it's also very much about the future. And that Passover brings these great contrasts to us, sweet, but also bitter, dark, but also light. And here we feel the heaviness of loss. And we recall those whose lives brought meaning and love and great happiness into our own lives. Those who helped to shape us. Those who were with us in times of great joy, but also times of great hardship and sadness. We remember them now, We honor them both together and individually. And we do so with the help of the age-old words of our people as we say together, Adonai, what are we that you have regard for us? What are we that you are mindful of us? We are like a breath, our days are as a passing shadow. We come and go like grass which in the morning shoots up renewed and in the evening fades and withers. You cause us to revert to dust, saying, return, O mortal creatures. Would that we were wise, that we understood where we are going. When we die, we carry nothing away. Our glory does not accompany us. Mark the wholehearted, and behold the upright. They shall have peace. Adonai, you redeem the soul of your servants, and none who trust in you shall be desolate. Esai na elahari me'ayin yavo Ezri. Ezri me'im Adonai oseh shamayim va'aretz. Al yiten lamot raglecha, al yanum shomrecha. Hine lo yanum velo yishan shomer Israel. I turn my eyes to the mountains. From where will my help come? My help comes from Adonai, maker of heaven and earth. God will not let your foot give way. Your guardian will not slumber. See, the guardian of Israel neither slumbers nor sleeps. Adonai is your guardian. Adonai is your protection at your right hand. By day, the sun will not strike you, nor the moon by night. Adonai will guard you from all harm. God will guard your life. Adonai will guard your going and coming, now and forever. We'll take time now to reflect personally as we take part, each of us, in our own silent remembrance. Continuing with the hallowed words of El Malei Rachamim.
El male rachamim, shochen b'meromim, hametzeh menocha nechona, tachat kanfei hashchina, im kiroshim u'tiorim, kizor rakim asirim, לנשמות יקירינו שהלכו לעולמם. על הרחמים יסתירים נשאתי כנפיו לעולמים, וישרור בצרור החיים את נשמתם. אדוני הוא נחלתם, וינוחו בשלום על משכבם ברומם.
Fully compassionate, God on high, to our loved ones who have entered eternity, grant clear and certain rest with you in the lofty heights of the sacred and pure, whose brightness shines like the very glow of heaven. Source of mercy, forever enfold them in the embrace of your wings. Secure their souls in eternity. Adonai, they are yours. They will rest in peace. And together we do say, Amen. It is at this time that we remember those that we bid farewell to since this time last year. As a congregational community, we remember with a very heavy heart Alan Miller, Leon Pickus, Sylvia Envers, Arnold Brown, Greg Gertz, Arlene Snyder, Bernie Bronstein, Shirley Edelman, Robert Mendelson, Gail Green, Michael Schaefer, Michael Gittleman, Seymour Altman, Sarah Kempel, Dorothy Ahrens, Judy Tates, Joanne Boryasevich, Anthony Amarillo, Beryl Halpern, Eileen Halpern, Lila Freeman, Henry Cohen, Rosemary Lanzasera, Esther Kay, Constance Pichon, Shana Kramer, Irving Horowitz, Eugene Novak, Phyllis Sternberg, Renee Packer, Adam P. Perrell, Gerald Kushner, Gail Levine, Edith Hartrick, Aileen Richter, Robert Kaufman, Arthur Tompkins, Judy Tresky Robertson, Seema Holterman Glazer, Lana Renee Epstein, Victor Nemiroff, Mitchell Warwick, Anita Baer, Herman Slaughterhoff, Paul Thomas, Pearl Cardonic, Beverly Getzenberg, Eleanor Friedman, Harriet Nemeth, Mitzi Longer, Ronald Kramer, Wallace Kramer, Susan Fesnack, David Prizer, Bruce Kay, Paul Barretts, Sid Jaffe, Steve Ravitz, Barbara Michelson, and Carol Gold, as well as the names that you hold in your heart at this precious moment, as together we honor and remember them with the hallowed words of Kaddish Yatom, the mourner's Kaddish, words with which we thank God for the very gift and blessing of life itself, as we say together, Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, v'yalma divrach yiruteh v'yamlich malchuteh, v'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayei t'chol beit Yisrael, v'agala v'izman kari v'imru, amen. Yehei shemei Rabbah mivorach leolam ulamei amaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudesha barichu. Eila min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damiran bi'alma v'imru, amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn, and comfort to all who are bereaved. Together we can say, amen. We are now just about at the end of our service. It's good to be with everyone, even if virtually. It's good to see your faces and be able to spend this time together. A big thank you as always to our cantor and to everyone behind the scenes who helped to make this service and all of our services recently possible. Just a couple quick reminders. And we have, as we go back to Chametz now, you're welcome to reach out to Crust and Fire, who's very generously agreed to offer a big discount to Adith Emanuel members. That's Crust and Fire in Mount Laurel, something that the David family will be doing. Many of you have been a part of the clergy chat series I've been doing over Zoom and Facebook. And this week I have a fabulous guest named Kelsey Tallarico. Many of you will know her. A proud product of our congregation who's really just an all-star. And as she's preparing for medical school, she is spending her time these days learning in the ER. And she's working in Maryland, and we're going to talk all about what it means to be nearing the end of college right now and thinking about medical school and what she's experiencing in the ER and the great wisdom she has to share with us. Friday night services, 7:30. Saturday morning services, 10 o'clock. Havdalah on Saturday night, 7 o'clock. We're trying to bring a lot of content and substance into your lives to help us all together through this time. So watch your email and watch Facebook. And God willing, day by day, we're going to be okay. Okay, Sandy, I think we're ready for a closing song.
I think
Harriet's asking, when is the discussion? That's with Kelsey. That's, if that's what you're referring to, that's tomorrow, Thursday night at 7. You have an email about it. So all of the details about how to find us on Zoom and Facebook should be there. Okay, here we are. Miriam's song?
Miriam's song.
Why not?
And the women dancing with their timbrels followed Miriam as she sang her song. Sing a song to the one whom we've exalted. Miriam and the women danced and danced the whole night long. And Miriam the prophet took her timbrel in her hand, and all the women followed her just as she had planned. And when Miriam raised her voice in song, she sang with praise and might. We've just lived through a miracle. We're going to dance tonight. And the women dancing with their timbrel followed Miriam as she sang her song. Sing a song to the one whom we've exalted. Miriam and the women danced and danced the whole night long.
Everybody, there you are. Chag Sameach. It's good to see you. Enjoy your pizza. We'll see you soon.
Bye.
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 Everybody.
Bye.
Bye, all.
Hi, Ari.
Hello.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, everyone.
Hi,
Laurie, everybody. Harry, hi.
We're going through each person showing up. Hi, everybody.
My daughter made a pizza.
I'm hungry. Give me a hamburger.
Jack went to pick up our pizza.
This saves time. We get there a lot faster.
True.
Mine was delivered.
She made it herself. We need the dough. Get it? Need?
Uh,
You never